Hey there and welcome. Today we're making a super cute in the hoop sleep mask that comes in two sizes, adult and child. It's perfect for gifts, travel, or just, relaxing in style. So let's jump in and stitch it together. Now let's talk about how to personalize your in the hoop sleep mask design. This step is totally optional and you can stitch it out like this. You'll have this little like diamond like overlay for like quilting pattern. But it is a fun way to make your mask unique. So if you do have embroidery software, I do encourage you to personalize this. So before you begin the stitch out, open your design file in your embroidery software. I am using Embrilliance. And look for, so you're gonna use this blank version, not the one with the eyelashes. There are so many fun ways that you can personalize this design. I've seen so many sayings, but for this one, I'm gonna use the saying, shh, dreaming. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my letter A, and I'm gonna type what I wanna say. And I'm going to use a font that will fit in here, so that looks perfect. And I see this S is a little high, so I'm just gonna bring it down a bit. Just like that. There we go. That's a little too close to, that R is a little too close to my stitch line right there, but I think that'll be fine actually, just like that. This step is very important, this next step I'm gonna show you. So we cannot have it stitch out last or else this will be stitched on the back and you won't be able to see it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this plus button and I need to have it stitched right after this stitch right here. So before the placement stitches for the elastic bands. So I'm gonna move it after number 3. Okay, so here's number 3. Here'll be number 4. And then it goes to number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. Okay, that's perfect. So I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna upload it to my machine. What is so wonderful about this project is A, it's really quick, but B, it only requires one 10 by 10 layer cake fabric piece or stacker. I want to do 2 different patterns though, because I want this one to be my front and this to be my back. So just know you can get it done in just one if you want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these in half. So I'm gonna have it at 5 inches. Since I am making the adult size version, you need either 14 inches, between 14 inches and 16 inches of elastic band. And so I'm gonna use this yellow one. Before I forget, you will also need some low loft quilt batting. And because this is the adult version, you need a pretty big size hoop. So I'm using my 18 by 12 inch hoop. Now, if you're doing the children's version, you can use a 5 by 7 hoop. So that's for those who maybe don't have a machine that has a capability of sewing such large designs. Okay, I'm gonna put this in and then I'm gonna go to the machine and I'm gonna run the first stitch, which is the placement stitch. Take your batting piece and completely cover up the design and run the next stitch. I had quite a bit of excess batting around my design, so I just gave it a little trim. It's about like maybe, here it's like 1/4 inch right here, and I will definitely have to trim later. But grab your front design and cover it up and run the next stitch, which will tack it down and do the quilting stitch. This next step, of course, is the optional part where we do the personalization. I am going to remove my string, or excuse me, I'm going to remove my white thread, and I'm going to use this navy. I don't really love this thread because it doesn't it's pretty cheap, and the spool is really cheap, so it gets caught all the time. But I really need that color because I'm matching it kind of to the back of my design. So I'm going to change the color and run the next step, which is the optional personalization. Next up, we'll add the elastic band that holds the sleep mask in place. Your machine is going to stitch 2 short placement lines, one on each side of the mask. These lines show you exactly where to position the ends of your elastic. Use the placement lines to help line up your elastic. Lay one end of your elastic band directly over the stitch line and use a small piece of tape to hold it in place securely, or just hold it like I am. When you're ready, press start again. The machine will tack down the left side of the elastic to hold it firmly in place. It will do a stop, before you add on the other side of the elastic. So again, line up the other end of the elastic on the stitch line and either tape it down or hold it in place. And then stitch the next one, and this will tack down the right side of the elastic. Make sure your elastic is looped inside the mask area and taped down in the center so it doesn't get caught in the final seam. Now you're ready to move on to the backing step. Now it's time to add the backing fabric to close everything up. Take your backing piece and place it right over the entire design area, making sure it covers everything, including the taped down elastic. Be sure to place it with the wrong side facing up. Smooth it out and secure it with a couple pieces of tape, or just hold it like I am. And then when you're ready, press start. The machine will do a single running stitch first just to hold that backing fabric in place. Then it'll go back over the outline again with a bean stitch for extra durability. There will be about a 2-inch gap at the top of the design. This gap is important. It's what we'll use to turn the mask right side out later. So once that stitch finishes, we're done with the embroidery machine and ready to move on to turning and finishing the mask. Go ahead and remove the sleep mask from the hoop and carefully tear away the excess stabilizer from around the outside edges. It is time to cut the design, and this is what the side with the batting looks like, and this is the side without the batting. The first thing I want you to do is find the opening, and if you're on the side, the top side, or I'm sorry, this is actually the back side of the fabric, so yeah. You'll see that there's a little gap right here. What I want you to do is cut kind of diagonal like that. Just like that, because you want to have extra fabric at the opening so that it's easier for us to turn. And then what you're going to do is carefully cut around the design. Now, I have cut too close multiple times, so take your time here. You do not want to just like accidentally cut too close and have raw edges showing. So again, take your time here, because I have done it multiple times and it can be quite disappointing. Very gently turn your sleep mask right outside out through the small gap we left earlier. Take your time with the step because you do not want to put too much stress on all the stitches. So really carefully push the fabric through the opening, starting with one end and slowly working it out all the way out. You can also use a turning tool, chopstick, or even the eraser end of a pencil to help shape the curves and press out the seams. All right, it's time to close it. So I have my fabric glue, and taking that side, I'm going to fold both of these in just like so. You see, I got some of my edges right there. So I'm gonna fold those in a little bit more. All right, let's remove the clips and see if we got all of the seams. Looks good. Yeah, like you see, looks really good. And I would actually, before I do the glue, I just was too lazy, but I would actually iron it flat, okay? But it looks wonderful. So this is the adult size, and here is the child size. Super cute. So this one, of course, is personalized. This one is the design with the eyelashes. Thanks for watching. This design is free on my Patreon. Check the link below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more creative fun.